How about you guys? Are we liking the idea of having a little bit later start time? Well, wonderful. I'm glad that the ALC took charge of this. When we started to think about staying in alignment with our goals and everything, and keeping our lead gen time as practical and purposeful as possible, this gives us that opportunity. So thank you guys. We appreciate your being here today. We're going to talk about family reunion as we get into it. And it was a pretty badass family reunion for some people. Not so much for me. If you didn't hear, I got sick day 2 and stayed in my hotel room near death. Yes, I'm dramatic. Yes, man, colds are worse. I know this because I've experienced it. And if you can imagine yourself, most of us would identify as pretty social. And then you bring me to Las Vegas and you bring me to family reunion and then you make me stay in my hotel room. I don't know what was worse, being sick or the FOMO that I was having, because the FOMO was off the hook. I was like, didn't get to be around my people. I didn't even see Chad, even though he was there. I didn't see Corby, even though he was there. And no, yeah, losing money. Yeah. So the only thing about being sick in Las Vegas is I didn't lose any money. I did once. I couldn't muster up the effort to get out and make something happen. No, it was a wonderful, wonderful trip. We're excited to share a lot about what it was. The parts that I did get to see, the parts that I did get to participate in, were pretty incredible. This was I think, a pivotal year for us as a brand, bringing a very stick idea to what we do, not just talking about sales, but talking about where your headspace is, what do you want out of your life, and then bringing in Tony Robbins, bringing in Mel Robbins, talking with Gary and Jay and Mark King, and it was really fantastic. So we're excited to share some of that with you guys this morning, and get going here. So Jordy, let's kick it off.
All right. I just want to start out. It's National or Women's History Month. National Women's Month. So this is something fun that we did a few years ago. And so I just recreated it with all of our women agents in the office. So yeah, just a fun little thing celebrating our wonderful female agents. I think National Women's Day is on March 8th. So later this week. So just wanted to give a quick shout out. Woohoo! If you can't find yourself, we'll probably post this on the Facebook page as well, just because it's kind of fun. So,
Very cool.
yeah, that was just my little tidbit. And now,
I was going to say, there's a lot of production there. We want to invite up our very great title. Kayla,
Hello.
how are you?
Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, almost. Good afternoon. Wow. I don't have any pictures of Kenna this time, but I will try to keep you entertained otherwise. So I figured today we would just kind of do a little recap about who we are, and then kind of just the ways that we make title great. So one big thing is we know that we are a reflection of you guys at the table. So that is one thing that we take very seriously. We want to be sure that your clients are comfortable when they see us and that we're an extension of you. So 54%, a majority of home buyers, they said that they rely on their real estate agent as their main point of contact during closing. So working with us very closely is important, and that is something that we do not take very lightly. And then reputation and experience. So Britt founded this, and we have been in business now for a little over a year. She has dedicated the last 26 years of her career to finding the most efficient ways and the best ways, what works for you guys, what she has found is, 10 out of 10 for your clients and easiest for you guys. That is such a win for all of us, for a title company, and using Great North Title is because she knows ins and outs. And not only is she an owner, but it fills her cup to do the closings too. So she adds that little personal touch. And then convenience and flexibility. So we have 5 locations. We can do mobile closings. And just so you guys, just a little reminder, the remote closings, you still get your own closer. So whether it's Mike or Britt, you're still going to have that closer that you typically will use with your client on that remote online closing. So I think that's important too, to keep that personal touch for your clients. And you can trust that you're not just getting a random notary and they're just like, sign here, sign there, sign there. No, you're still getting the closer. It still gives you that personal touch for your clients. Speed and accuracy. So no matter the team that you're working with, it's kind of all hands on deck all the time. You will have your same, processor closer team that you typically work with, but we truly are such a team. And that is why we are so blessed to be a part of Great North Title. And because you're never going to see a difference on what team you're working with or what response. It's going to come from that team email, and everyone just helps everyone. And we really care about each other inside of Great North Title. And that really kind of shines through, I think, to you guys and your clients. And then we also have a abstract examiner on staff. So we can do title commitments in as little as 24 hours. So that's kind of nice for those sticky situations that I know there are a lot of right now. But we have him as a go-to, a senior examiner, ask those questions, as well as our underwriter too. We have direct access with them. Technology and security. We use a system called Qualia. And if you guys haven't used it yet or been a part of it, it is very cool. It's kind of like a pizza tracker situation, except for we pay for the highest cutting edge technology. So everything is also secure inside that Qualia portal. So that's nice for you guys to know and to take that one less worry away for you guys. Hey, are my clients gonna, this is a spam email, so all of them are gonna look the same, and there's tell them to look out for it to make sure that everyone, no one gets scammed or anything like that. And you can adjust your notifications. So please know that if you are currently using Qualia and you do have your notifications set to on, you can tweak those. So if you're the type of agent that thinks, I really trust them, I've worked with them before, I don't need a constant update, you can toggle between those, getting the updates and not. Friendly and knowledgeable. So kind of like I said, all hands on deck. And we are able to communicate with you guys however you want to communicate with. It's not strictly email, text, phone call, all of the above. So however you guys feel free to communicate with us, communicate with Mike, communicate with Mike's team, text, phone call, email. They're available for all of it. You're going to get somebody knowledgeable who can help you on the other end, and at a very speedy pace too, because we know that everyone wants that information right at their fingertips. So we definitely are, I would actually say that that's one of our top 3 strong suits is the speed, getting back to you guys and helping you through transactions, giving those answers to your clients. Simple and accessible. So if you want to send an order, you can send it to Team Mike at greatnorthtitle.com. Mike's cell phone number is up there, so feel free right now, even if you want to jot it down, if you don't already have it, even if you don't currently use us and you do have a question about title, please feel free, jot his number down, send him a text if you have any questions, and he would be happy to help you out. We are, as you all know, right down the hall. And we would love for you guys to stop by anytime, say hi. We love to see you guys. And I think that is it. See you at the closing table.
Thank you, Kayla. Thank you, Great North. Thank you, Team Mike. Genuinely, guys, we appreciate the relationship we have with our vendors, partners, in that we've chosen to work with them for a reason. And that reason is because they uphold the standard that we're upholding. So whether it's Mark, whether it's Raina, where's Raina, whether it's Britt and her team, or whether it's Mark and his team, our entire goal, you guys, is to make sure that you have the things you need to be successful in your business on a day-to-day basis. And having a relationship, you can go out and spend a whole lot of time, waste a whole lot of money trying to figure out one title company over the other. I've worked for a couple, I've worked with a lot of companies. The companies we work with and the people we work with go go above and beyond every time. So if you're using somebody outside of it's because you have a good purpose. That's great for you. If you're wondering who you should use and you're looking outside of this, no further, meet with the professionals we have here so that you can get access to the things that they're doing that are going to have an impact in your business and the experience that your clients have, right? That's the most important thing. If you're taking them off site for no other reason than you just are so independent that you want to work with somebody who isn't here, you're wasting your time and your money most time. Maybe it's because of the cold meds, but I get a lot of agents who meet with me in my office and talk to me about how busy they are. And then they went on, 3 title meetings. Not necessary. Find the people that you want to be in business with and thrive with them. If you're wasting time meeting with more and more people because you think you're going to end up with more and more leads, Corby, does that work? Do they actually ever come with leads? Don't. And so that's it, guys. Find a team that works for you and really get serious about what that looks like. We're very grateful to have you guys here. Appreciate that, guys. All right. We have a video and he shaved. Do we even
mark your calendars. Our next Reverse Bold 100 call night is happening March 25th from 4 p.m. until 7 p.m. And if you've never attended this event, don't miss this one. It is the easiest way to connect with your database and to have a real estate conversation. And on top of that, everyone that calls in has a chance to win $1,000. So in order for this to happen, we need 20 agents. 20 agents to sign up for this event. The entry fee per agent is $50, and that enables us to give away $1,000 to someone that calls in at the end of the night. Now, on top of that, the agent whose person calls and wins that $1,000, they will also get a prize. So we will reimburse them for the cost of that current call night, and they will get into the next call night for free. Right? This is an awesome opportunity for you to connect with your database, to practice having real estate conversations, and just to have fun. These people know you, like you, and trust you. Now let's make sure they understand that we're in real estate and we can help them. Okay? So March 18th is the deadline to sign up for this event. Don't miss out. We need 20 agents, $50 a piece. And again, the opportunities that can come from this are tremendous. So I hope to see you there.
Awesome. Alec is at a job fair today at the University of St. Thomas, and he's helping some of the potential agents over there learn about what this might mean. Here's what I'm going to say about this. How many of you have so much business you don't know what to do with it right now? Nobody raised their hand. Weird. So that means then that everybody should do this. You guys, this is stupid easy to do. It's $50, and I swear there's nothing else you can do today, tomorrow, or anytime this week for $50 that's going to have the same impact as this. If you're not going to be a part of this, if you're not going to do these sorts of things in your business, some of you have very good lead systems down. Some of you don't have a very good lead system at all or any. So show up to this, spend the $50, participate, and get people to call you so that you have something to do this spring instead of twiddle your thumbs wondering when the next deal is going to come in. Right? Bless you. So honestly, guys, show up to this, participate. A show of hands. Who's planning on participating? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I love you guys. This is where we're starting. 7. Yes.
I'm done now.
But no, you're absolutely right, Steve. You guys, every single day we want people to call us. We don't have a way to do that. This is $50 that you're spending to get God, who had that? Was it Janet last time that had like, yeah, didn't she have like 40 or 50 or 90? I mean, guys, and she closed
something.
There you go.
How many did you have, Janet?
The first time I got like 80,
80.
and the second time it was like 110.
How many, just for the purpose of helping everybody in the room understand, Janet, how many deals did you end up closing in 2023?
27.
27 transactions. Thank you very much. You guys is in the show up, do the activities that are getting you in front of people that you guys get. Sean provides you with all of the detail, all the digital interaction, all the things you got to post. $50, you guys. You can't get digital assets for that at most other brokerages. So come on, guys, let's jump in and do this. Apparently, I'm in the browbeating mood today. Just telling mother.
Ooh,
All right.
Yeah, you're doing
Favorite
great, Nick.
dip potluck. Tell
Favorite
us
dip
more.
potluck. Okay, so as you guys know, we've moved the team meeting time. And so we're going to be trying out some fun different things, bringing in some outside sponsors, having our partners provide lunch. And then we also want to have some fun potlucks as well. So next week, it'll be kind of a light lunch because it's all going to be yummy dips. So we would love to have you bring your favorite dip. It can be buffalo chicken dip. It can be a ranch dip. It can be something sweet. It can be any kind of dip. You can even go. Oh, and it's Jen's birthday. Jen, what dip do you want?
We are celebrating for you. She forgot to put, bring your favorite dip. Wait, that was going to move in the wrong direction.
So again, this is just going to be kind of a fun thing. So we'll have, after the team meeting, right after, we'll just get the dips out, hang out in the cafe and in here. And then I think we might have a class at 1 that day. So we'll just have about a half hour to hang out and enjoy some dips together.
It's weird. My favorite dip is Jameson.
Yes. And like chips, whatever you want to dip into.
Yeah. This is cool. I appreciate you guys putting the thought into this. I think it'll be fun to bring your favorite dips and to hang out after the team meeting a little bit. So please do. I'm excited for you to bring your best dip. I literally am.
All right. This is something I've been getting asked about a lot. So this is just a nice little one pager that's going to break down any of our big major events for 2024. So agent events, you'll see kind of all those agent specific ones. A lot of them are recurring ones that we have each year. So just wanted to get those dates out to you in advance. With the agent events, every once in a while, those can move around just because we are a little bit more flexible since it's in office, but those are the dates set for now. Client events. Woo woo. So our next upcoming client event is going to be our spring clean event, and that's going to be on Saturday, April 27th. So we're going to be talking more about that, I believe, at the team meeting next week, just getting some details out there to you guys. Oh, my voice just cracked. And then in October, the Fall Fest Halloween pie giveaway, and then, of course, our Winter Wonderland Santa event. And then as far as volunteer events, our Red Day, May 9th, that's the Red Day for all Keller Williams. And then we'll do the free farmers market and then looking at getting a Feed My Starving Children on the calendar as well. So again, these dates are tentatively set for the agent events. Client events are a little bit more solid. And then I'll be working with our culture committee on bringing even more events and stuff to you guys this year. So yeah, just wanted to get this out to everyone. These are all already on the calendar. You can go in and add them to your own.
Wow. There's a lot of stuff we've got going on. Very nice. Thank you.
Yes. And we'll be talking about them as they all get closer and stuff, as you guys know. All right. I only have 30 people signed up for a Rosie's, and I am looking for all of our office to be signed up. So again, our 2023 Rosie's, just a quick reminder, this is our annual award ceremony. So we celebrate everyone in the office, not just producers or the top producers. This is an event for everyone. So all agents are welcome. We're going to have superlative voting coming out that you guys will be able to vote on. And it's just going to be a semi-formal event. We'll have dinner. There'll be a bar open for drinks. We may even have some cocktail hour drinks covered. So again, This is just a fun event for everyone. So we really want to have everyone come. You can bring a +1. Please make sure they're 18 plus. But yeah, it's just a fun event where we can all get together, take pictures, and celebrate everyone as an office. And this will be at CHS Field. So it's going to be a really cool venue, floor to ceiling windows, overlooking the CHS Field. And so there's a big patio outside as well that we'll be able to utilize for photos and just to hang out. So yeah, if you have any questions, just let me know. Steve?
That's a great venue. Thank you for your work on that, Jordan. You guys sign up, show up, and get ready. It's going to be a hell of a good time. So that guy, jackass. They colored it in. Beard is definitely though a bit lighter colored now. You guys, have any of you taken Never Ending Referrals? Okay, so we have a couple in here. This is a really, really great way, you guys, to create a referral system in your business. If you currently don't have a significant referral system that you're working, this is gonna kickstart that. This is gonna help engage your client base in a way that is a little bit different than the kind of traditional, hey, do you know anybody looking to buy, sell, or invest? The whole idea behind this is creating raving fans, is to create never-ending referrals so that you're constantly having a system to engage your client base so they want to work with you and they want to send people to work with you. So we kick off next the 11th, right? Is that Monday? 12
Monday.
2 in here. You guys, this is going to be fun. It's not by me, so you don't have, it's led by me. I'm not talking though most of the time, damn it. But the conversation and the content are incredible, guys. So let's jump in and do this. If you are struggling to figure out right now how to create a model in which you're attracting business and not always having to convince people, this is where you're going to start. Show up here. Let's go through this together and let's get you guys the referrals you deserve. Eight weeks to wealth, facilitated by our very own Forrest.
Ooh, and I will be sending out more information on this to everyone. We have 8 weeks to wealth. Forrest is going to be facilitating it as our wealth chair, one of our ALC wealth chairs. So this is going to be, I think, Wednesdays at 2 p.m. It is all recorded sessions with materials. So what's really cool is that we'll have group sessions here with Forrest, and then you'll also have access to all the recordings as well. So if you can't make a session, you'll still be able to go in and watch those and catch back up. So this is led by Mark King, Jason Abrams,
Brett
and
Tanner.
was it
Brett Tanner.
Brett Tanner?
So you guys, here's the thing. How many of you feel like you're on a treadmill or a hamster wheel at times? Our business, right? It's a lot of the same. Get back on, keep moving, get back on, keep moving. The intention of 8 weeks to wealth and of these 3 individuals that have put this course together is to get you off of the hamster wheel. It's to get you to understand that you have tax advantages being a real estate agent to buy homes and to move homes. You have tax advantages on how what they consider in terms of your deductions. This is part of the planning. But this is going to start to give you some a little bit of a kick in the behind to move. How many of you own rental property right now? Okay. We have a couple. This class and the entirety of the 8 weeks to wealth conversation is to get you to fast forward beyond your bullshit, get you into property investing, right? The opportunity of growing wealth through property, what we tell our clients. And what are the and holdups for most of us? They're going to talk about Brett Tanner is the director of wealth for our company. And I'll be honest, you guys, he is brilliant in what he's designing for us. In this idea of a holistic approach to real estate, right? For many years, it was just sales. Most brokerages at most brands, they only talk about sales. Why do they only talk about sales? Because they want you on your treadmill, on your hamster wheel. They want that. The other brokerages, they don't want you to stop selling, because if you stop selling, you stop making them money. This class and the people who put it together, you guys, are at the very top of our company, and their intention is not for you to remain on the hamster wheel for your whole life, but to define what it is that you want. And there are a number of ways for you to go after that. This is $100, you guys. And again, when you're talking about investing in yourself, this is $100 that you will thank us for having spent in your future. The people who have taken this course, people like Kyle Field, many of you might know Kyle, many of you might not. He's in the Maple Grove office and has built an incredible portfolio, one that has allowed him to step back from doing a lot of the things that he was doing in his business to take back time in his life. We could enjoy being with his kids through these investments. He's done this. So thank you guys for that. All right. So we had the opportunity of holding a happy hour specific our market center in at Family Reunion. And I wanted to take an extra special minute to thank Cinch and Great North for their participation in that. Jen Gagne, Cinch, and Britt and Kayla Uphoff. They came out and they supported us, and they participated and they engaged with our agents. And I want to just say again, you guys, we're incredibly thankful, because we know that we go to this well a lot of asking our relationship partners to participate, and they showed up again here. So thank you again for that, you guys. Even though the room right now, we appreciate you very much, and we appreciate your attendance. So thank you. You drove him to the airport. Britt lives in Grove, so. All right. If you attended Family Reunion, I'd love to have you come up at this point and jump on a chair here. We're going to talk a little bit about what Family Reunion looked like for you. And I got a couple of questions, and I swear they're easy questions. Here we go. We have 3. Now he has to even sit closer to Steve. So, as I kind of said, I'll start that with you guys. Thanks. As we said, you guys, this Family Reunion felt different. And I don't know about you guys, and we'll get into a little bit of this, but energy and the attendance of this was intense. I've been to 13 or so family reunions. I've been to probably the same amount of was energy, and there's always a bit of excitement, but this one just felt different. Right? The people that showed up, the amount of people that showed up, and how they showed up felt really different. So what I'd love to ask is first and foremost, all of you is, was this was your first or no? And then how many times you've been to the reunion? Ryan, we'll start with you. All right.
How's that?
There you go.
Yeah, this was not my first family reunion. Shelby and I both participated in 6 family reunions at this point. 2 of those were during the pandemic, so they were remote. But this was our 4th in person.
Yeah. No, yeah, you're right.
Hi, guys. This was my 14th family reunion, dating back a while, and it was, I'll comment on a couple of things as to why I feel that way. It was the best. Absolutely the best.
This was my 19th family reunion, 18th in person. And it was great energy. It was really fun.
One of the questions, I think that we from a couple of you people that were, wondering how is, what is, I want to be too egg. And tell me a little bit about, just tell me about the experience of being at family reunion. Just for those people who haven't been, walk them through what your week looked like.
I mean, I've been to conventions in Vegas for a while, and so my previous career was kind of used to, you know, going and being purposeful. So there's events from morning into the evening. There's various types of events. So my favorite part of it probably is the breakout sessions. I would back up and just say, for me, Keller Williams, if you guys have probably heard the term, it's like drinking from a fire hose here, right? There's just like so much information
Yeah.
and support and training available. Sometimes it's, you know, it can be a lot. Family reunion is like that times 1,000. Like every second of every moment, there are so many opportunities to be learning something, picking something up, making a connection, all those things. So I will say, after my first year, I learned to go with a plan, because my first year, I brought home a book with 1,000 ideas and didn't execute any of them. And ever since then, I go with a plan now. And so, you know, Shelby and I laid out what each of us wanted to do there. So the experience of being there for me was, okay, which breakout sessions am I going to go to that are specifically related to what I want to see? And then there's the big events that everybody goes to with Gary, and then the keynote speakers, which were incredible.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just kind of nonstop learning and opportunity, my experience.
But you, Steve, what does a family reunion week look like for you?
Well, I was impressed all over again. Certainly some of the things I would echo what Ann talked about is that, if anything, those of you who were there with me helped me here. I think, in fact, there was over 100 different breakout
There
to
was.
go to. And almost, how many was it? 200. So there we were with the agenda, and we had 3 days. You think, oh, I'm going to get to everything I want to get to, and there's no chance. There was just no chance. That's a good thing rather than a bad thing, but it was a challenge just to come up with exactly where to be every single hour throughout. I would, Nick, one of the things that was impressive all over again is just the enormity of what, not only the 15,000 of us that were there, 18,000 or whatever it was, but what we've got our arms around with this unbelievable company that just keeps getting bigger and better and delivers more things to all of us. So that was certainly it. And yes, we had some terrific breakout sessions. We had some keynote speakers. But I would say this with due respect to Gary, the things that that I'm hanging on to is the time that Tony Robbins was there, and a person named Mel Robbins, who's not a guy, it's Mel, and I had never even heard of her before. She was worth the trip, in my opinion.
I would have to agree. Mel Robbins was amazing. So it was really good. The thing I like about family reunion is customizable aspect of it. So it's like you can go there specifically and get what you need. And it took literally, there were so many more breakout sessions per session this time that it took take you 10 minutes just to sort through all the different options and possibilities that you could go to. So you're able to really fine tune, what you went there for. So I really like that aspect of it. And then the other thing too, not as opposed, but in addition to all the other things that you get from the actual conference, the big thing for me that I've enjoyed since the first time I went is when you get to the happy hours and we get to the events where it's just the market center and you get to actually spend some time talking to some of your colleagues that might just pass in the hallways briefly, but you really get to share ideas. And it just, I don't know, it's just a great energy. And there's family reunion and there's mega camp. They're both worth going to, but I've always been more of a family reunion fan just because of the customizable aspect of it and also the vision speech and some of that other stuff. So you just can't miss it. It's fantastic.
No, I appreciate that, Sean, because I think you're absolutely right. There's you guys hear thing that I'll say about this part. There's a reason why you're here, right? And chances are the reason why you're here at Keller Williams, the reason why you are here today is that someone in this room cared enough about you, say, hey, you should do this. This could be really cool for you. Same thing with family reunion, right? Same thing with mega camp is if you're going to be here at Keller Williams, and you're going to be here in this office or market center, take advantage of the things that make your life better, right? Like family reunion. How many of you feel, maybe not this moment, but have felt in the last year exhausted, alone, frustrated, concerned. How many of you felt like that in the last year? Right? All of you have, because you brought it to my office. Well, except for these two in the end. They're the OGs. But everybody else has brought something to me in the last year where they felt one of these ways. And what I experienced as an agent going to family reunion, what I experienced as an affiliate going to family reunion, and what I experienced as a team leader is all very much the same. It's about us and about culture. And so here's the thing: you can work for a number of firms. There are a number of real estate firms that do none of this, and you can probably go there and you might sell some real estate too. If you do this, like Corby's saying, is that just being around each other, right? How many of you, and this isn't a trick question, have spoken personally or privately to one of the people, one of our panelists, right? Imagine being at family reunion, being able to pick Sean Corby's brain at happy hour about things that are working for him. Imagine being able to sit and talk to Steve about his experiences and what he's been through, and being able to share his wisdom with you. And then imagine being able to mastermind with Ryan and Shelby about the things that are working on their team in a place that you might actually be too. It's hard for me to go into Ryan's office here and say, Ryan, will you spend an hour with me? Let's just chat about this. Because he's like, I'm busy and you're busy and we're busy. You get out of town with everybody, everything, but we stop being, Nick from the office, and you start being Nick from the same place, Nick from conversation. We start building into that. So I think that's a it would be remiss if I didn't say one of the most parts of family reunion, and the reason they needed family reunion, it's not just about the breakout sessions. It's about forming a relationship with people in your office. It's about forming a relationship with the people in our region and throughout the country and throughout the world, so that one, you can do more business, and two, can impact more people's lives, right? Go ahead, Steve.
Exactly what Nick is talking about. I happened to be sitting next to a whole lot of people when Tony Robbins was on the stage, 3 of whom were fairly close to where I was sitting. And if you've been to a Tony Robbins event, you get to know the people around you. Kind of makes that happen. I had 3 people that I got to be pretty friendly with in a 3.5 hour session. All 3 of them I've had contact with in the last 48 hours. That rah-rah isn't that cool, but those are 3 people I never met before. We may meet again. We may do some referral business back and forth. I think that's what you're talking about.
That is exactly what I'm talking about. That's exactly it, you guys. All right, Sean, we'll start with you on this one. What was the favorite thing you attended while you were at this particular family reunion? And what can you share with us about that experience or something you learned?
I think my favorite thing this year was Mel Robbins, to be honest with you. And I love Tony Robbins. He's a monster. But Mel Robbins is, and I'd read her book a few years ago, but there was something about the way she presented it. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the 5-second rule. Anybody know what that is? To me, it just seemed like an oversimple technique, but then she kind of went into the science of it. And basically, I mean, I'm not going to do the whole keynote, but the idea is that we all have this kind of inert stasis, right? And sometimes it's hard to have that conversation with somebody or make that call or do something that you might not want to do that's uncomfortable. And she told her whole backstory, but she boiled it down into, she just does she gives herself 5 seconds. She says 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then before she can even think, she just launches into it. And I just thought it was really, really profound. And it was really good because it actually changes from this part of your brain that doesn't want to do it, the actual action part of your brain. And it's fantastic. Really liked it.
It's awesome. I like her for that reason. How many of you read it or have it or know it? Okay. Well, I got a copy of that book. Steve is the first one to get it because he called dibs on that. But if you haven't and you're wondering, you'd like something else to pick up, I think I can probably source a couple more copies if you guys want one. So see me about that.
Yeah, she was terrific. I couldn't say it any different than what Sean has talked about. The other night that I heard a moment, I think it was Wednesday night, we had a regional meeting with how many states are we in the North Central? Is it 7?
Yeah, North Central has 7.
7.
Yep.
So
31 market centers in the 7 states.
And how many agents about in that 7? In the North
about
Central?
9,000. About 9,000 agents.
9,000. So we were there and there was a couple hundred people in the room and it was an award ceremony for all those 7 states and the agents within them on really cool things that they've done either individually or as teams. And somehow Chad snuck out of this room, but Chad Hare, those 9,000, 9,000, Chad Hare was recognized. And there was, I think in commercial real estate, there may have been 4 or 5 categories of commercial agents that were receiving awards, won 2 of them, the entire 9,000 of us. So, I mean, he's a pretty special guy. And it struck me.
I did log in
Yeah, on
online,
there.
so we'll give him a round
So,
of applause.
yeah, please do.
It's an honor just
Yeah, that
being
was-
nominated. Thank
You're
you.
up there, wave at us or something. I can't. Anyway, there was a lot of us cheering in his behalf, and it was a great night overall. Yeah, Wyoming, Montana, the Dakotas, Minnesota, Wisconsin, not Iowa.
No,
One other,
yeah, you said Idaho, Montana.
Idaho.
Dakotas?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
that's it.
And so there was a lot of winners from some of those other states. It was kind of refreshing too. Montana, my God, they walked away with a lot of things. But in terms of the commercial leaders in North Central, I would go out on a very short limb and say probably across the country is the guy that's right around the corner. It's kind of a big deal.
So I said before that my favorite thing about family reunion is the breakout sessions. General, that's true. This year, honestly, it was so hard to pick a favorite thing because everything was amazing, frankly. But if I had to pick one thing, it would have been Tony Robbins. I mean, you guys are probably familiar with Tony Robbins, but to experience him in person, and he just has a way of cutting through all of the nonsense and getting straight down to real core art of your humanity and to help you move forward. And what he had to say about energy was just, it was so on point for things I know I need to do to improve not just my business, but my family life, everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was special.
To add to that, if I may, there was Tony Robbins, and I'd never seen him before. Everybody knows who the guy is. He showed up and he revealed the fact he's 63 years old. He showed up after having shoulder surgery the day before. So he was there for 3.5 or 4 hours in a sling. I know he was in pain, and he just lit up the room. It was pretty crazy.
Wouldn't have known. I saw saw him do a very similar. He doesn't do a lot of these. This is the second one that he's done, and I saw him do this the other time, and he brought the same amount of energy, hurt as he did to his other ones. He takes 50 hours, you guys. His normal presentation is like a 5-day, 50-hour event. He squeezed as much as he could into 3.5 hours, and I bet they were probably ushering him off. Like, come on, man. A funny story about this, though. Some of you guys might have heard this. We heard this directly from Jason that in his contract, he had to have it 61 degrees, 100 feet from the stage. It had to be 61 degrees. So they had to bring in conditioning units and blowers underneath because the sumbitch sweats so much that he needed it to be lower. And dude, it just gets crazy up there. But yeah, so yeah, he did a fantastic job, and he brought such an energy to it, and had. I mean, if you guys could have seen it, and there have been some videos that have been posted in the moment, being in the room. You turn around because some of us got to the front of the room, and we're right at the stage level. And when you turn around, and I stood on the chair at one point, turned around, have 15 or 17 or 18,000 people jumping up and down together. It was nuts. If you'd have to be dead not to feel the energy in that room. It was palpable. Ryan,
Can I pick up one?
Yeah,
I just
please.
want to say one extra thing about that, which is, he was there hurt, as you said, against doctors' advice to be there. And I'm sure, I don't know what he got paid to be at that event. I'm sure it was quite a lot of money, but well, here's the thing though. The guy's worth hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yes.
Like, did not need to be there. I'm sure he didn't need that money. And I feel like, to me, it speaks to a lot of what I get out of Keller Williams, which is his culture I get the same thing from Gary. You know, Gary's, he's fabulously wealthy. He's achieved so much in his life, but he's really doing this for us
Yes.
as agents, and that was what I felt from Tony Robbins too, and that's to be in a room with tens of thousands of people who are the culture that we're sitting under is amazing. Like I've worked in a lot of different situations in my life. I've never worked in a situation where that was the culture of the organization I was involved in. So
Appreciate you saying that because I think too, the one thing that we take for granted here at Keller Williams is that we have the kind of leadership at a national. Not going to pat myself on the back. The leadership you guys have. When I think about what Gary Keller says and what his leadership team does and their willingness to serve, that's fantastic, and that's integral to our culture. But you guys, it's not only that they're doing it for us, it's that they're doing it with such purpose and such intensity. Everybody else has an axe to grind for them, and all the other brokerages that I've been a part of or been asked to participate or be recruited by every single time that I hear Gary speak, it's that all the other BS that there's one of the guys from one of the brokerages, he gets at CNBC or MSNBC a few times a week and talks about the housing market. And who does he do that for? This other person. Who does he get on MSNBC and talks about him? And he wants to be the guru. You know why Gary doesn't get on those calls? They're not serving you. They're serving his ego. That's why Gary doesn't get in MSNBC and some of this other stuff. And why some of the other people do is because they need to be fanciful and try to pretend that they are Gary. Gary says, I'm doing this for my company. And the information that he brings is so specific to that. Talk a little bit, if you would, about the state of the company address, because I think that's one of the integral moments. What were your thoughts on that, you guys?
I mean, for me, the state of the company it's always just super helpful to get basic information for conversations. So I'm jotting down notes, I'm taking pictures. Actually, Shelby and I always agree, like we're going to take the entire slide deck and then go through it one at a time and say, how are we going to use this slide? Which ones are the ones we're going to use? Are we going to bring this into presentations, conversations, phone calls, door knocking? Just so much awesome information there to use. So.
Yeah.
Agree totally. If those of you are wondering what the state of the company is all about, it's probably pretty apparent. It's Gary and in this example, 3 other people are on the stage for an entire morning, basically, giving us really what's going on. What's the reality of going on, the good and the not so good and the great and the not so great. It's always very revealing. It's always reassuring. And I don't think that is necessarily their purpose. They're pretty, starting with Gary, they're all pretty straight shooters, but it was reassuring in terms they got this. And I found that to be very reassuring as well.
The vision speech is always one of my favorite things too. And it always arms you with Gary always says you want to be the economist of choice in your market, right? But this is how you actually learn on a national scale what's going on. And so it just arms you with that information so you can better serve your clients. And with all the graphs and all the breakdowns, and it's fun when they kind of go back and forth every now and then too. Yeah, it's just a wealth of information. The slide decks are great. And the slide decks, I believe, are available to everybody.
They are.
So you can actually pull those down. And if you've got an appointment, you can those slides right into your listing presentation and stand out from your competition.
And you give real and honest perspective. And Gary, one of the things that I appreciate about leaders is when they're real and they're genuine and authentic and they don't sugarcoat it. I don't think Gary sugarcoated this. He said, it's going to be harder. You're not going to like it. It's not going to look like it was. We're not out of the woods. In my opinion, that is the true testament of his leadership is he's telling you, hey, we got to work harder. Hey, these are some of the things we're going to do. And I'm here for you. I don't know if you guys have seen this. It came out today. Have any of you registered for the class that they're doing here? I think they're doing it on the 7th and the 26th. And we'll get that information out to you guys. You signed up already too? Go ahead, Lisa. Register as well? Okay, wonderful. You guys register for this. This is going to help you identify on how you deliver value. Now, it's imperative and pivotal right now that we're having this conversation because of the lawsuits. The value of a buyer's agent around the country is at question, right? This is going to help you. So here's the thing. Again, if you're going to be here, invest in what you're doing here. Take the time and do the education. If you just want to run by the seat of your pants, that's great. I think. But if you want to have a system and a model and actually believe you can have an impact, take advantage of the tools, take advantage of the conversations, take advantage of the opportunity, and start to listen to the people. Gary doesn't get on stage because he wants to recruit you. He wants to get on stage, he wants you to maintain what it is you're doing. And he wants to have an impact in your life. That's it. And he's delivering that with massive amount of information. Sean, tell me, of all the things that you learned and all the time you had, what's one thing that you're bringing back to implement in your business? And it might be a little bit too soon because you might not have met with Travis on this yet, so I don't know. So Travis, what are you going to do? No,
I haven't cleared it all with Travis yet.
Yeah, right.
I would say the two biggest things that I've got just as reminders were go deep with your people, go deep with your lead generation instead of always wide.
Yeah.
Right. Because it's always expensive to go wide. It's not as expensive to go deep, and it's much more effective. So just deepen those relationships with the people you've got. Then for me personally, it was I saw so many people that were just kind of crushing it in social media, which the Highland team does an amazing job of. That's free, basically, right? And so there were people doing insane numbers. And so one of the things that I'm going to be working on and putting into my 135 is getting out there more. Because the big message that I got is people are gonna find you. They might find you because of real estate, but they're gonna stick with you or be attracted to you because of who they are and who they learn that you are. The only way you can do that is to get yourself out there. So,
Absolutely.
Marty, how many breakouts did we have? Did you say it was over 200? So here's 200 classes being led by an authority that we had. It was a challenge because you go through that. And I think what Sean saying, you get on that list that you've got in any given hour or two, there's probably 10 or 15 different things. One of them I was purposeful about, to answer your question, Nick, that I will stick with, and that I sought it out, and that there's an entire large growing group of people that are part of the KW military. I happen to be a U.S. Army veteran. I went there on purpose to learn more about that membership and what would be in it for me, frankly. And that was an hour and a half that was incredibly well spent. Now a member of the military group. With that, cool, I guess. But what does that mean? It means, I think there's 2,500 members in that thing that just started a couple of years ago. That group it means referrals, and that's their primary thing. So here's Steve in St. Paul, Minneapolis, U.S. Army vet. I now have access to 2,400 other people that are in that same group looking to make friends. It's going to be valuable, in my opinion.
It's awesome, Steve. Thanks for sharing that and getting signed up. Go ahead, Ryan.
So this year I went specifically with a focus on version for leads for specifically listings.
Yep.
So I have a whole list of things to implement. Shelby and I went through a top 5, but I would say number 1 was to read Phil Jones' book, What to Say.
Did you grab one?
I don't have one. Oh no, Shelby did. She ordered me one, so it's sitting in the office. But yeah, and I will say, this is a preview for the culture committee on the ALC. We're talking about implementing a book club for the office.
Love that.
Potentially. So that's definitely at the top of the list for books.
Yeah.
I went to see Phil Jones talk. He was incredible. And I want to say his book and he were referenced in every single
Session.
breakout
Yeah.
session that I went to. So the clear was read this book.
Phil Jones is he wrote What to Say. Is that what it's called? Exactly What to Say. Yeah, and he's fantastic. What I really liked about him, and if you guys haven't, is he takes the language of our business and it creates an opportunity for you to be able to say what you're saying, but say it in a way that elicits a different response. So for instance, one of his things is, this might not be for you, but I thought I would reach out. It takes away some things. Sometimes to do with the contract. You know what to do with the checklist on when to list a house. Sometimes you just don't know exactly what to say, right? It's a great book, and I appreciate you bringing him up. I had the chance to meet him at, was it Mega Camp? Is that where he was first? And had gotten a chance to read the book. The book's an easy read, you guys, and it ideas on what to say when you're not sure exactly what to say. Oh, I appreciate you sharing that.
And one additional comment about that I would say is I've spent years trying to figure out like what's a good lead gen strategy, how do I time block, all those sorts of things. At some point, you know, in previous years, especially last year, listening to Gary saying like, okay, you got to double down, and you know, at some point it starts to feel like, oh my gosh, do I need to find more hours in the day every day for lead gen? And when you've got kids and family and all these obligations, that seems nearly impossible, or is impossible. But you know, improving your conversations is a key piece of leverage where you can be more productive in the same amount of time.
Yeah, because your conversion rate goes up, right?
Exactly.
So part of the economic model is identifying your conversion rate, right? So you have your activities, you do the activities, but over time, you end up being able to, you know, to show your conversion rate increases because your skill set has increased, right? And most of us aren't going to learn that on our own. And that's the truth. All right. So Ryan, we'll start with you. Parting thought on this family reunion, your future attendance, and anything you want to share with the group.
I'll just be brief. Like I go to family reunion. It's amazing.
Yeah.
I love Keller Williams. I love the culture here, and family reunion is just like one big ball of Keller culture and opportunity. So like, yeah, it's worth the cost.
And we had that crazy party that we all went to. We didn't, unfortunately. There was no crazy party.
One or two of us didn't.
No. My crazy party was trying to get myself to be able to answer the door to pick up my my miso soup. Yep.
It's been a fun conversation. One last thing, and I'll invite both of you guys to speak up too. I think I'm right that the principal sponsor of the entire event was a new company, not so new, but a company that's just on the rise called Home.com. Maybe you've ever heard of Home.com.
The guy was in our office again yesterday.
Pardon me?
Yeah, the guy was in our office yesterday. Their regional
Oh.
guy was here yesterday.
Well, it was very impressive. The president and the founder of this company was on stage with Gary, and I don't think Gary has ever done that before. Admittedly, it was a very, very timely topic about Homes.com, and I'll try and give you about a 10-second overview. There he was, and I can't imagine the size of the check that was now to Keller Williams to have that guy there. So there he was describing what Home.com is. And my point is, keep your eye on what's coming with that. It's going to bury things like Zillow.
Find him. Today is a problem. Gary does not align him or our company with people who he's vigorous in how he goes and vets these people. He wouldn't take a check from anybody just to put them on stage because he's never done that, you guys. So the gentleman from homes.com which is also apartment.com. If Chad was here, CoStar.
Well, land.com as well.
And land.com. And so what they're doing is they're creating an enormous funnel to deliver leads, and those leads are and will always go to the listing agent is their intention. So, but you got to sign up with them first. Start signing up for those sorts of things like home.com and some of those. You should always get on there, and if you, at the very minimum, reserve your own name. Where the customer is going to go to try to find you when they want .com, they're going to go to these other places. So check that out, you guys. I appreciate you bringing that up.
I thought it was very worthy, and maybe sometime in the future we can figure out how to get one of their.
He's into a meeting. Jordan talked to him yesterday.
Wonderful. Well done. Well done. It's unique enough, kind of a big enough advantage to everybody here as a listing agent. Essentially, you'll get the leads rather than somebody else getting a checkbook out, sending it to Zillow, then could go to anybody. A big deal.
That's what it is. CoStar is a commercial listing, and what CoStar is trying to do here, you guys, is with street, person that they're sending out the information to the greater public. So we're moving towards a MLS system, or at the very minimum, a more direct MLS system. A lot of this is in the weeds for you guys, but yes, this is an opportunity. Sean, go ahead, buddy.
I would just say if you haven't gone to family reunion, go. You'll keep coming back. The very first year that I was with Keller Williams, I remember the team leader at the time, Woodbury, said, "Well, are you going to go to family reunion?" And I was like, it's pretty expensive. I'm just getting started. He's like, "Well, it's all about commitment." That's where we get that. We throw that around all the time. That's where I first heard it. Like, fine, I'll go. And then I was just like, okay, I get it now. And then just going back.
Where is it next year? It's in Vegas again.
Same place.
So I get a second shot at having a good time. It's back in Vegas. Yeah, they signed a 2-year agreement to do it, what they needed to do. And so we're back in Vegas again next year. All right, can we get a hand for our panel? Thank you guys very, very much. Go ahead.
A couple of weeks ago, we had a guest join us at this team, maybe 3 weeks ago, maybe 4 weeks ago. He's come back, so we didn't scare the heck out of him. Cottrell, welcome back. Glad you're here. How far along are you in your courses since we saw you last? Whoa. Oh, and you're a good guy and a show off too, man. Hold on. Oh, welcome back. Almost officially soon. Happy you're here.
Glad to have you here, guys. Thank you again to today's lunch sponsor. Go get yourself some sandwiches if you haven't had one. Sorry. Forrest, stand up a little bit and oh, there, we have one here. Tell us a little bit about what this is going to look like.
So to jump back real quick, next Wednesday, the eggwithhomes.com is going to be here again at 9:30 in a reserve a conference room. So anyone that wants to about their membership, he'll be here to talk about that again. But this event is little seminar is going to be talking about a lot of changes with insurance. So I don't know about you guys, but I just got my renewal for my homeowner's insurance, and it went up a decent amount. And a lot of our clients are experiencing the same thing. So Nate he's an insurance broker at Goosehead. He's going to be talking about the changes in homeowners insurance. And then Tyler is a contractor with Charter Home Renovations. And he's going to talk about working through claims with clients. I don't know if any of you have been buying or selling a property where there's an active claim or there needs to be a claim. He works really closely with homeowners, trusted him with my clients, my neighbors. My eyes, there's a lot of people, a lot of contractors, just like real estate agents that go out, try and make a quick, easy buck by saying, hey, you have roof hail damage, and come in and try and work with clients or homeowners. What Tyler does is he works really closely and will fight for his clients, similar to agents that we like to pride ourselves of being better than the majority. There's so many of them. I get calls, and last week I got door knocked twice by someone in my neighborhood. But Tyler is knows his stuff really well and is going to talk about working through that process with clients as well. So really great information on changes in home insurance and how, if you're working with clients, actively work through a claim that might be happening that you're buying or selling a property.
Awesome. We're excited to have them in. And if you come, you might even be able to see a little baby here. Maybe I could get him to bring that baby back in. Not today. No, that's on the. It's in 20 minutes. So come in and check it out in 20 minutes. You guys go get some food and be back in here in 20 minutes. Rock and roll, you guys. Go kick some ass.